Hello! Welcome to another episode of In the Store with me, Jazzy Jeff. So I am uber excited today because obviously I'm back outside. Let's switch this around. I got the Samsung phone working, of course. So I'm actually able to go mobile. So I can actually take you guys around the store and obviously show you what's new, what's happening, what's hip, what's cool. So, as always, this was the format that I was hoping to continue. Like I said, the past few episodes were mobile because I had some camera issues. But now I am free. Got the power glove. I think that's what's keeping the phone working. So, we're about to head into the store. We got Chris Hendershot watching. Thanks, Chris. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is actually for sale. The price sticker on this bad boy is $70. So, if you're interested in a power glove, come on down to Cartridges Galore State College. Let's head on into the store and find out what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm just going to swing this around here. Give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek if you haven't been here in a while. We got in some NES Advantages. Those bad boys are only going for $15. Got some Quick Shots, as well as some Point Masters for sale. And if you guys overlook these, because I know there's a lot of stuff to look at in the store, we have a ton of bags, Game Boy cases, and holders for your handhelds, as well as pretty much anything. I mean, this PlayStation bag is huge. You could probably fit a whole system in there. So if you want to go, camping, go for a little picnic, play some PlayStation, we got that going on. Swing around here. For the Pokemon lovers, of course, we have some Pokemon bags. So you can play Pokemon on the go and use your Pokemon Game Boy bag. And we've got this nice leather one. That's pretty cool. And these are all cleaned up, wiped down. We got them all ready to go and priced. So just something, and a couple other random controllers. All right, and there's our cases, of course. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and swing on down. Let's turn this around here. Got a little sneak peek at Connor there. All right, so let's see if I can actually do this with the glove here. Might actually have to take the glove off real quick. Give me a second. All right, I'm going to squeeze you guys on the little holder here. All right. As always, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for dealing with the technical issues, of course. All right. So, as always, I like to do an interactive show as much as possible. So if you guys ever have questions about prices, about stuff we have, things that are in the store, something that you want me to show you, please ask. What's going on, man? How are those GS? Brandon Seacrest. How are things, though? Things are great, Brandon Seacrest. Thanks for asking. Thank you, Brandon, for watching. Of course, we got State College commenting. That's Connor in the back. I appreciate that. So, today's episode, I'm going to treat like a mullet, okay? We're going to do business first, and then the pleasure in the back. So business in the front, party in the back. Chris McMillan, thank you for watching. I have a Dreamcast en route. What's good? What's good? We got tons of games going on. That's what's good. So first and foremost, the business side of things, I really want to make sure that you guys take advantage of this because these are some awesome things. There's only a few more days left of April, so if you're looking to get cash or get store credit, you might as well come in, bring in your systems, bring in your games, and enter to win that $500 Visa gift card contest. Not many game stores, as well as not many places in general, are just going to give you a chance to win a $500 Visa gift card. But Carts Galore is. So come on down to the store, check them out. That's awesome. All you got to do is just bring us your old games. Bring us your old systems. And you can get cash or store credit. And then, of course, for people that are coming down to shop, we still have all of our systems that are coming with a free rack game. So you pick up a system, you pick up a handheld, you pick up a Retron 5, you get a free game with it. So come on down and take advantage of these awesome, awesome deals. Okay? Alright, so that being said, let's get on to some fun stuff. Alright, so obviously I've mentioned this in the past, and I figured that I would just finally get it out of the way. Always talking about Resident Evil, always bringing up Resident Evil. We've been getting in a lot of Resident Evil games lately. We've been selling a decent amount of Resident Evil games as well. They're coming in and they're going. So I figured before they all get sold up, I might as well just dedicate an entire Friday show to the topic of Resident Evil. Rick Penzo, thank you for watching. Flyer is backwards. Yeah, it's going to come in that way because of the way that the camera is, the Facebook live camera angle. When I have it in selfie mode, things might look upside down or backwards. So, but I'll make sure to let the printer people know that they might have printed it backwards. All right, so moving on. Let's jump right into it. So, of course, we got the original Resident Evil Black Label for all you hardcore PS1 collectors. This guy's going for $25. Obviously, the one that started it all, the one that set the tablet for all the next, all the leading games, sequels, all the spin-offs, and all the other various, survival horror games. We have Resident Evil to thank for it, aka Biohazard in Japan, for anybody that did not know that. Chris McKellen, still one of the best games ever, hands down. Absolutely, dude. Could not agree, man. Could not agree more with you. So much fun, great music, great controls. Say what you want about the tank controls, but once you get used to them, it's really cool stuff. Always enjoyed this cover for sure. I also have played the director's cut with the alternate music and some alternate cutscenes and stuff. That one's a lot of fun too. If you guys can find that one out in the wild, I recommend it. Obviously, if we get it in stock, you will be the first to know about it. But there you have it. A lot can be said about that game. And of course, speaking of the original Resident Evil, it was remade. Whenever something is a hit or something is awesome, it's got to be remade, remodeled, remastered. And of course, here we have the original remake for the Nintendo GameCube. They did recently do another HD remake of it for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But this is the one that was on the GameCube, and this one is a lot of fun as well. Still holds up really well today. If you can't get your hands on the new ones, or the new ones are too expensive, don't fret. Come on down to the store. This one's only $17. That's a great deal for this game, and it's everything you need is on one disc, and then obviously the second part of the game is on the second disc. Super easy. We got everything here. The manual. Great stuff. Really good game. Ken Wasiak, thank you so much for watching. Long box was first. Yes, there was a long box version of, but I was saying this is like part one of the series. Chris McKellen, waiting for some info on the Resident Evil 2 remake. Hopefully at E3 Capcom will drop it down. Yeah, that's true. That is the one that everybody keeps asking about. I don't know if they did. I have to double check. I don't know if they ever did one for Code Veronica. I think that one they might have done. That game is so crazy to find. Yeah, the long box version for sure, dude, is super hard to find. Alright, and then of course, like all great games, once you get that first game out there and you start, getting people interested in it, well, you got to make a sequel, you got to make a follow-up, you got to keep your fans interested. And let me tell you, man, when they came out with the second game, it was awesome. Here we have, once again, the black box version. 2-disc version, Claire's story, as well as Leon's, and we got all that right here with the manual. Box is in great condition, only $18. For Resident Evil 2, that is a killer deal. We also, for the N64 fans, this version is a little different. There's some music that's been altered. There's been some voice acting that's been altered, as well as some cutscenes and things like that, because the cartridge could not hold as much information as a disc. So, but even though it's different, this is still a very sought-after version, and we have it here on the N64, $19. Ken Wastak, it was released 8 times actually. Thank you, Ken. Your knowledge is very helpful. Jen Kratzer, thank you for watching. Any of those with a non-rotating camera? I can't play any games with the rotating cameras. Also, any good recommendations on games? Yes, I'll be giving you some good recommendations on games at the end. I usually do the jazzy pick of the week. As well as rotating camera. The newer games, yes. The earlier ones, not as much. You can set a lot of these earlier games, you can set the camera to one specific mode, whereas the later games like Resident Evil 5 and 6, they have like preset cameras that just move where you move. But anyway, we do have it on one other system. We got it on the Dreamcast. So obviously that was a little tougher to find, so you're going to pay a little bit more for this one. This guy's going for $57. Obviously the Dreamcast version is also slightly different because there's some additional features with the VMU when you play the game. As well as, I believe, there's some bonus features that are not on the original one. That I have to double check on. If any of you guys know, leave it in the comments below. But these ones are pretty much the same. Obviously, you can unlock Tofu mode, and there's the mode with, I always forget the guy's name, Hunk. Yeah, you can also unlock Hunk as a playable character, and he has his own little like mini story, kind of like Ada in the later sequels. Spoilers, of course. Chris McKellen might nab that Dreamcast version. Yeah, man, come on down. We got it right here. It's fresh, you know, hot off the press, ready to go, man. Come on down, pick that sucker up. Carol Donald, thank you for watching. The stuff is reversed when it's on camera. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it goes. That's something I could look into for later episodes. It's just one of the things, it's sort of a downfall of Facebook. They want you to be social and make videos, but then when you turn the camera around in selfie mode, it puts everything in reverse. So I don't know if that's something that they'll ever fix. Probably not. But that's something I could look into with recording next week's episode. But thank you, Carol, for bringing that up. All right, moving along, of course, the next sequel in the series was Resident Evil 3. We finally get to play as Jill, as well as Jill gets her own story. Obviously, hardcore fans, Jill is a playable character in Part 1, but her story isn't part of the universe, so to speak. Chris's playthrough was sort of the legit story playthrough. So it is neat that Jill finally gets her own story as well as her own game. And this one, some fans like, some fans dislike. I love this one. I still remember renting it from Blockbuster Video. Stood out from one of the better rentals I've gotten from my past. Once again, we got it on Dreamcast. We got that guy for $44. And then, of course, we have the PlayStation 1 version for $24. So, check those out. Great games, great story. The Nemesis, obviously, is a very classic bad guy. They made toys, they made t-shirts of him. They put him on coffee mugs. Very iconic character, very iconic game. So, come on down and check that out. Obviously, earlier, I brought up Code Veronica. As far as storylines go, this technically would be the next one in the series. Don't want to say too much about this game because there's actually a lot of awesome surprises if you have not played it before. But obviously both Claire and Chris Redfield are in the games. Chris McKellen, this game was incredible as well. It holds up really well. Not sure why some fans dislike it. Nemesis was best known since Darth Vader. I'm sure you mean Darth Vader. Or maybe Darth Maul. I don't know. But Darth Vader sounds pretty cool. I like that name. Yeah, I mean, I've heard some mixed feelings about it because some people say it's not chronological, or it's, people with that, like with the official timeline and stuff like that. I've read weird things, and it's a little different game from the other ones, the way you collect items and stuff like that. But I'd never had any problems with it. But it's one of those weird games where I've just read like mixed reviews. But Code Veronica, man, this is an absolute incredible game. Obviously, we have it on the Dreamcast, $20. That's what it's going for. That's our asking price. So we got this. Come on down. It's a very great game. We did have it on the PlayStation 2, and it just got sold the other day. We also had a copy of Resident Evil 0 in, which I was going to talk about. That also got sold. So like I said, people are coming in and looking for them, so we got them. So come on and grab them, before Halloween time comes up, because then that's when everybody wants to start playing horror games, is, September, October, and they're all going to be gone by then. So get a head start and grab them now while we have them. All right, after part 3 comes part 4, of course. Resident Evil 4, another great game. This has been re-released like multiple times. It was re-released again on the PlayStation 4. There was even a version of it on the Wii, which I have that one. That one's a lot of fun. But here we have the standard GameCube as well as PlayStation 2 versions. PlayStation 2, this bad boy's going for $8. And the Nintendo GameCube, which is slightly harder to find, that's going for $13. So some great stuff, lots of fun. Best Resident Evil in Connor's opinion, and a lot of people would agree with that statement. It's really tough to beat this game. It literally took everything that was awesome about the originals, updated the controls, updated the story, updated the graphics, great music, iconic scenes. It legitimately was scary. It scared me the first time playing through this. The way the first game scared me, the way the second game scared me. So, you know, I never felt that same kind of tense feelings the way, you know, you feel with this game. So great stuff. Solomon Coleman, thank you for watching. The GOAT right there. There you go, Chris. So, awesome stuff. We have both of those. All right. Moving right along. We got the next one. What comes after 4? Well, 5, of course. And this is the one I'd say probably gets the most hate. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It is very different from 4. It is very different from the earlier installments. Feels almost kind of like a Call of Duty, you know, mixed with Resident Evil. I have played some of it. I played the new remastered version on PlayStation 4. I've not gotten a chance to play more of it. I will eventually get around to it. I don't think it's that bad, but I can't speak a whole lot on the story and the whole storyline. But obviously you play as Chris. He's got a new sidekick, which I forget her name already. I believe it's Shiva. And, okay, cool. And obviously we got that both on Xbox 360, 737, and we got it on the PlayStation 3 for $5. Look at that, a Resident Evil game for $5. You can't beat it. Chris McGillen, go ahead and burn those copies along with Shaq Fu. All right, man, I'll put those on the burn list. Make sure we get around to that tonight. We actually have to start getting the store warmed up for the next winter. So we're going to need some firewood and stuff to burn. So I'll definitely make sure. And I'll have to track down that lost copy of Shaq Fu. We might have it in the store. Ken Wasiak, we got a meh. And I agree, still in my top 5. There you go. Moving right along, after 5, can't even speak, after 5 comes 6. Boom. So this is the one where people started getting back on board again. It is definitely nothing like 5. I mean, there's elements from 5, but they do bring back the ability to like play as another character throughout parts of the game where you don't have to control 2 people at once. You like kind of like Resident Evil 0, where you know you play as, you know, Billy for a little while, and then you play as Rebecca for a little while. I like this game. I thought it was cool. I played it for the PlayStation 4 as well. We have it here on the 360 for $5, and we have it here on the PlayStation 3 for $7. So if you guys are obviously fans of 4, and you kind of want to continue the story, better graphics, and honestly, it's improved. I mean, it's up there with a lot of the newer shooting games, so it stays relevant in how games are made and how they work today. So there you go. Good stuff. Cool stuff for sure. And then last Resident Evil game here. I found it kind of hanging around. We got Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I never played this one before. Looked up some gameplay of it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of House of the Dead, sort of a rail shooter type game. But obviously you have like side missions, and you know you have to clear different stages in different areas, and you like I said, you get a lot of mini missions and stuff like that. You obviously play as multiple different characters and things of such. Very look similar to 6, definitely in the gameplay and the style and the footage. So I would totally recommend looking into this. If you enjoyed 6, it's only $5. That's not bad. That's not bad at all for a 360 game. Can't go wrong there. So that's it. That's it for all the Resident Evil games. And then, of course, there are a few honorable mentions, as they say. So we have them obviously in stock, so I figured I'd just show them to you real quick. What could be the harm in that? So of course, we have the original Silent Hill. Back in the 90s, obviously, when the Resident Evil games were coming out, the Silent Hill games were also coming out. This was another one of those kind of cheesy gamer things where people were like, either you're a Resident Evil fan or you're a Silent Hill fan, and there's a line drawn, and I never agreed with any of that. It doesn't matter what side you pick. This is a great game. It deserves to be up there with Resident Evil. It's not necessarily like Resident Evil where you're shooting and killing things, but there's lots of strategy involved, lots of gameplay involved where you have to watch what you're doing, watch where you're going, a little bit of sneaking and things like that. But very cool, very awesome game. We have this for PlayStation 1 for $39. So there it is, complete in box, manual, everything. And that's a really good PlayStation 1 box, because these bad boys tend to crack and get busted up over time. Alright. Still need to visit this series along with Parasite Eve. Yes, and we also, we did have Parasite Eve. I was actually planning on talking about that today, and it got sold today. So like I said, people are coming in and they're buying up our survival horror games. So like I said, man, like any of these games could go any second. Somebody could walk in right now during this video and buy it. So if you have any inkling to get it, come on and get it, because I hate when people walk out sad saying, "Oh man, you had that game last week and now it's gone." You know, these games move. Sean Holland, thank you so much for watching. Now I want to play Code Veronica. Yeah, man, play Code Veronica. If you don't have it, come on down and grab it. All right, moving along. Up next, another honorable mention on the Xbox One, as well as you can also get this on the PlayStation 4. We obviously have it on the Xbox One for $12. The Evil Within. Very fun, very cool game. Very similar to the Resident Evil series in that, you know, you're going to be collecting guns, collecting weapons, shooting, but there's also some Silent Hill mixed in here where you have to strategize whether you want to sneak by a monster or sneak through a certain area. So there's definitely lots of replayability there. Very psychological, very weird, lots of strange camera movements, very freaky. The soundtrack as well as the sounds in this game are very, very messed up. The little boy that you're trying to rescue always freaks me out throughout the game. Awesome stuff, awesome cover. I love the horror covers where they're not afraid to, you know, show you a little bit of blood, a little bit of gore, get a little serious there, and awesome stuff. So the Evil Within, I give it the jazzy seal of approval. I give it 1 power up thumb out of 1. So there you go, 1 out of 1. You can't go wrong with that. So we got everything. Everything's flying right out of the box. Got the disc and everything. Got the game. So all you got to do is come on in, ask for it, and we'll get you going. As Nick from Live at 5 always says, we'll get you going. Matty Ice sometimes says that as well. All right. Finally, last week, I forgot to do my honorable mention. Or not honorable mention, I mean the jazzy pick. Every week I do the jazzy game pick of the week. I do 1 pick. So I know Jen Kratzer, if you're still watching, I appreciate it. You were asking about some basically some games that you would recommend. Last week I know I had brought up Atari. I was talking about that at one point, and I wanted to bring up an Atari game that we have that I really like, and we actually have 2 copies of it. We have Haunted House. And I figured that this was perfect, since I'm talking about survival horror, talking about horror, might as well go with something that is spooky related. Obviously, this Atari 2600, these bad boys are only $1, $1. So as I always say, if it's $1, grab it, doesn't matter what it is, that's a great deal. Haunted House is a game where you're basically a pair of eyeballs. So for once, the picture on the box is actually representing what you actually play as. And you move through this haunted kind of room, which is a house, and there's different doors and different levels and stuff that you go in. You have to collect different items and take them to different spots of the house, avoiding ghosts, bats, and other random like ghoulies and, you know, stuff like that. And it's very creepy. It's actually very fun. It's a very different game indeed on the Atari. Not many games are like this. A lot of the games on the Atari that got popular got just kind of repurposed and repackaged again and again and again. And this is one of those games that it's really the only one of its kind. It's very unique. It's very different. And we got 2 copies of them. So if you guys are interested and you have an Atari, come on down and pick this up. So this is a jazzy pick of the week from last week. And then real quick here, I know this is getting a little long, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me as this long. Normally I try and keep these episodes as condensed as possible. Today's pick of the week is the Sega Genesis 6-pack. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the easiest and quickest way and probably the cheapest way for you guys to get a 6-pack. So if your ladies are getting on you or guys are getting on you about you need a 6-pack, well, come on in, pick up a 6-pack. You don't even have to worry about getting a gym membership. So there it is. This bad boy comes with Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, Super Hang-On, and Streets of Rage, of course. Very cool, lots of fun. I love this game only because it's super convenient in the fact that all the games you want are all together in one set. Obviously, these are some of the best titles on the Sega Genesis. The original Sonic the Hedgehog, lots of puzzle. There wasn't so much speed in relation to this one as more of like actual gameplay and knowing where to go and stuff like that. So this one's very underrated. People tend to like 2 and 3 the best, but I like the first one a lot. Columns is a great game if you're a fan of games like Tetris or any of the like, puzzle type games. This is up there like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine or Dr. Mario. Columns is great. I've played this at the arcade multiple times. Awesome. Streets of Rage, of course, can't go wrong up there with Double Dragon, all the other classics. Great beat 'em up. Golden Axe, same thing. Great story. I've beaten that multiple times. Never gets old. Revenge of Shinobi. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm almost certain this version as well you can unlock Godzilla as well as Spider-Man. If you look at the beginning of the game in the credits, Marvel, you see the word Marvel, and I do believe you see the word Toho or something like that. Somehow they got the rights to put those characters in here sort of like illegally. I know there's also a version where you can unlock, I think, Batman or something like that. So, really weird. Just another one of those weird Genesis things that only crazy Genesis fans knows. Yingling is only $6 at Sheets. Thank you, Brent. I don't know what that has to do with anything. As always, you're absolutely of no help. So, please stop watching right now. Jen Kratzer just got a Retron 3, needs some Genesis games. There you go, Jen. This is a great way to get you going. We'll get you going here. $29 for 6 games is actually a really decent price. Great thing is it comes with the manual, so if you have any questions, and this is a pretty hefty manual. This is like an encyclopedia right here. If you need a paperweight, this is paperweight. It literally explains the moves and how to play the games and all that cool stuff. Just wanted to give you a heads up on a cheaper 6-pack. Thank you, Brett Rittner. Glad to know the guy that should be fixing stuff is at Sheets. All right, awesome. So anyway, so that is the Genesis 6-pack. So obviously, Jen, totally recommend it, and we have tons of other Genesis games on sale right now. So I'll give you guys one last little swing around here of the store.
I googled it just so you could see the picture there. There's more than one cable you need to know. Connect Game Boy microsystems together. You need
Back from when games had manuals. Exactly, Travis. And that is our Sega Genesis rack section right there. And I'll give you guys a little swing by right there.
Find a Game Boy Micro connector, converter, then buy that, then yeah.
Alright, so that's it. So this has been Jazzy Jeff, obviously, with the Resident Evil games of the week, as well as my picks for last week and this week. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the comments. And like I said, if you guys have any more questions, please leave them at our Facebook page. Connor or I will be prompt in getting back to you. As always, come in. We're doing the, the Visa gift card. Don't forget about trade-ins. Don't forget about the free rack games. And like I said, come in with a smile, and you'll be walking out of here with an even bigger smile. So this is Jazzy Jeff. Take care.